watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Friday. Brady is off this afternoon. Arman Rahman is filling in today. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, filling in and chilling in this morning.
How are you liking this weather?
Oh, I don't like it, but I'm
like
here.
it.
I can't take the boy out of the Midwest.
How does your dog Maggie like it, though? The dogs love it.
Yo, the dogs don't feel it, so they're like,
true.
why are you wanting to go back in? Why are you sniffling, human? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there is something in the forecast for us humans, too, but it's going to be a weather roller coaster over the next couple days. We've got the chief doing the weather this Friday. Alex is here with the forecast now through Christmas.
Yes.
Hi, Alex.
Yay, hey there. Does everybody have their roller coaster seatbelt all fastened, ready to go? We're ready to go? All right, let's do this here. It is chilly out there. I'll show that in just a second. We got 35 in the forecast for Saturday, back down to 23, and then we're going to take that climb all the way up to 49 to Thursday. Does everybody know what Thursday is? That's Christmas. Christmas present here. If you like the warm stuff, we've got it in the forecast, and then the temperatures slowly slide back down. But even the temperatures after Christmas, those are normal temperatures for this time of year. But certainly on the cold side across southern Wisconsin as we speak right now. Again, we've got those cold temperatures here that blew in from the north and from the west. We got 17 in Madison, 18 in Middleton right now. Our normal lows for this time of year are in the teens. Our normal highs are still right around 30. There isn't a 30 anywhere inside across southern Wisconsin. All teens across the area. But these temperatures are going to eventually warm on up with those wind chills in the single digits. We're going to see warming temperatures overnight tonight. That's going to lead to a little bit of a brief mix possible as we head into Saturday. Very cold again on Sunday, as I just showed you, and then that very mild Christmas. But when I come in, let's talk more about this brief mix that's possible during the daytime on Saturday. I'll let you know if it will impact any travel. That's coming up in a little while.
All right, Alex, thank you. And after standing for nearly 100 years, the Black Hawk Bridge over the Mississippi River between Iowa and Wisconsin was imploded. The bridge was built in 1931, connecting Lansing, Iowa to Crawford County, Wisconsin, with a unique cantilever design. Whoa, look at that. I heard that, too. It closed in October and was the only bridge for 30 miles in either direction, carrying over 2,000 vehicles across every day. Its $140 million replacement is expected to be in service in 2027. Drivers can use the ferry service in place until construction is finished.
We have some breaking news at 4. The Wisconsin Department of Justice has completed its review of an officer-involved death investigation in Madison. The Dane County District Attorney says Madison police officers will not face criminal charges following a December of last year incident involving a medical emergency. Investigators say officers responded to a reported vehicle theft, leading to a foot chase and eventually an arrest. The man later became unresponsive at the Dane County Jail and died at the hospital. The medical examiner ruled the death an accident caused by complications of cocaine toxicity. A new study from UW Health may impact your next visit to the doctor's office.
Our Maya Tate has more on what you might see the next time you have an appointment, Maya.
Yeah, so the next time you go to the doctor's office, you may notice something new. Instead of going back and forth between talking to you and taking notes, they might be using AI with an audio recording. UW Health staff say the use of ambient AI has helped a number of healthcare workers in their practice. The AI tool is used like a scribe, taking notes during appointments and allowing a more conversational environment.
I can just take a breath and be what I actually went to school to do, which is be a doctor and care about the patient in front of me and actually see them. And it's been very fulfilling to actually get back to that thing.
Before the AI recording can begin, patients will be asked for their verbal consent. Senior Director of Digital Health and Emerging Technologies at UW Health, Frank Lau, says that some patients even said they get more explanations from the physicians while using this new tool. After the appointment, the physician can go back and write up their final report from the recording. For those who may be hesitant about the accuracy of the AI tool, Lau says that physicians can still go back and listen to the recording and update the notes themselves.
All right, Maya, very interesting. Thank you. Well, we were both talking about this earlier. A heartbreaking end to an amazing run for Wisconsin volleyball.
And that's the important thing to remember. It was an incredible season. They came very close to the national title game, but the Badgers fell to top-seeded Kentucky in 5 sets. Sports director Andrew Banstra is here now to break it all down. Andrew?
Yes, Susan and Armand, it was heartbreaking, like you said, but also, like you said, let's celebrate a fantastic season that no one will forget anytime soon. No one expected these Badgers to make this run in the first place. Through sheer determination, they shattered expectations and rose to the occasion. Even if they came up a few points shy of reaching that ultimate goal, Mimi Collier leaves Madison with no regrets and a whole lot of pride.
And that's what this program is built on, just the grittiness behind it. And I think we all knew that. It was just about showing people. And I think in this tournament, we really did that. You know, we came out, we busted the brackets, we did all the things. And I'm so grateful that this group was able to rise to the occasion on so many times. And just, you know, remember that we did it and no one thought we were going to be here. And just, you know, how proud I am of this team. And it's been so much fun to play with them.
That's certainly a sentiment that was resonated throughout Madison. Mimi Collier may have only played 1 season here in Madison, but she'll be remembered as a Badger legend, the likes of Russell Wilson.
I think you're right, Andrew. Thank you so much. A DeForest teacher is representing Wisconsin at the Rose Parade on New Year's Day.
The band director of DeForest High School is one of 300 band teachers who've been selected. Our Tanasia Shaw visited DeForest High School today, and Tanasia, the instructor understandably said he's pretty nervous.
Hi, Armand and Susan. Yes, Doug Haight has been a band instructor for nearly 15 years. He thoroughly understands music, but all of the ins and outs with the 5.5-mile parade in Pasadena still makes him very nervous. He calls this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Haight is one of 300 band directors selected to march in the Rose Parade on New Year's Day. He was so surprised that at first he didn't even think that he would be selected. When the news became official, he decided to use this parade as a practice what you preach moment.
This for me was a bit of a walk the walk moment, and put myself out there a little bit and take that risk and do something a little bit outside my comfort zone and show them what I can do, and hopefully that inspires some kids to reach for some of their goals too.
Haight also mentioned that marching in a parade is kind of hard because of Wisconsin winters. You know, walking out there that long in the snow and ice is just very difficult. But he will still use this moment to inspire his students. And I will have more on this story during our next newscast at 5.
Oh, we're looking forward to that. Congratulations to Doug. It'll be an experience he will never forget. We'll see you at 5, Tanasia. Thank you. A new apprenticeship training center is coming to Madison. The Associated Builders and Contractors of Wisconsin plan to build the 36,000 square foot center on City View Drive. It's being built with a quick timeline as well. Classes are expected to start in the fall of next year. Program leaders say their training efforts are growing every year and breaking enrollment records. The facility will feature classroom and lab spaces for over 400 students to train in electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and other trades.
A federal jury delivered a split verdict in the high-profile trial of Judge Hannah Dugan, finding her guilty of the felony charge of obstructing a federal agency related to helping an undocumented immigrant evade ICE agents at the courthouse in April, but not guilty on the misdemeanor count of concealing a wanted person. Dugan faces up to 5 years in prison, though no sentencing date has been set, and her defense says it will appeal the conviction. Political fallout continues, Republican lawmakers demanding her resignation or impeachment, while supporters and civil rights groups warn the verdict could threaten judicial independence and say they'll continue fundraising and legal efforts.
Well, this week we're remembering the lives lost in the tragic Abundant Life Christian school shooting a year ago.
In the wake of the violence, Governor Evers started the Office of Violence Prevention. Our Elia Liberté is checking in with the office nearly a year since its creation.
Just earlier this month, the office rolled out its grant program for violence prevention across the state. The $10 million for those grants comes from one-time federal COVID-era funds. But the director of the office tells me once that runs out at the end of next year, there is no other funding lined up. More long-term stable funding for the office also did not make it into the final 2-year budget passed this summer, according to the office's director, Amanda Powers.
We're seeing a fluctuation at the federal level, and programs are experiencing this fluctuation of unreliable funding from both the federal government and from the state government. So what I would hope is that we can see long-term stable funding so that folks can rely on this funding in the future and know that there's going to be a consistent opportunity to apply for the funding.
There are 5 categories for the grants, including suicide prevention and domestic violence prevention initiatives. Grant applications are due January 16th, but Powers tells me awardees could start seeing the money by March.
Ellie La Liberté reporting, thank you. The Office of Violence Prevention did face scrutiny when it was created. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos called it, quote, a waste of time and money. You can hear the director's response to that this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record.
Well, online travel fraud is surging, accounting for $1 trillion in global financial losses.
Our consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn shares warnings on what to watch out for this holiday season.
While the winter holidays are one of the busiest travel seasons of the year, it's also one of the busiest seasons for impersonation scams. Fraudsters impersonate airlines, hotels, and rental platforms. The FTC says organized foreign criminals stole $10 billion from Americans in 2024, and that's up 66% from the prior year. Common travel scams are texts which appear to come from major airlines directing customers to a fake number or link to rebook their travel. Fraudsters are known to advertise phony customer service numbers that lead directly to a scammer. Now, you can avoid these scams by always visiting with official company websites. Do not click on links sent by text or email directing you to a website, and take caution when it comes to online ads, sponsored search results, or links posted on social media. And if a travel company is unfamiliar, check sites like the Better Business Bureau so you can see other customers' reviews and complaints. Now, if a company doesn't list its cancellation or refund policy or request payment in cryptocurrency, that's your red flag. It's a scam.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. Good advice. And you can follow Michelle Renee's consumer reports during the week or wake up bright and early with her on weekend mornings, anchoring Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, next on Live at 4, the holidays, you know, are filled with friends, family, gifts, and lots of food. We have some new tips on watching your calories while still enjoying those feasts.
We hate to be Debbie Downer, but it's a true thing. And then wide receiver Matthew Golden made headlines after a major draft pick. He's looking to make them again after an injury on the team puts him back into the spotlight.
And we're learning new details in a mass shooting at Brown University and the death of an MIT professor, the latest from Rhode Island.
Plus, alert day conditions have fallen off the radar for the foreseeable future, although it's very cold tonight. Alex will have the first warn forecast after this.
All right, fasten those seatbelts. Is everyone ready? Are all buckled in? Ready? Set? Here we go. We got a roller coaster ride with our weather forecast, and you can see part of that in the 3 things you need to know. Brief mix is possible on Saturday. That's really the best chance for any sorts of rain or snow that we're going to have for many days to come. Then the temperatures are going to nosedive again, similar to where they are today. And by Christmas, very mild. If you didn't see my first weather, you just fasten that seatbelt because we're going to take that roller coaster ride all the way over to Christmas with those temperatures. Let's take a little bit of a peek here if we can get my graphics to move. Come on, there we go. They're frozen. It's cold out, and they're cold too. Here comes the little bit of that mixed precipitation right around 6 o'clock in the morning, stretching from Boscobel to Lone Rock to the Dells. This comes through as a cold front, and that cold front lines up from Platteville to Monroe over to Janesville over towards Elkhorn as we head towards 9 o'clock in the morning. And then behind, see these green lines coming from northwest to southeast? That's the cold stuff coming back into the forecast Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Temperatures, look at this, 11:30 at night. Just want to call that out. 11:30 at night tonight, our temperatures are going to be in the upper teens to right around 20 degrees. That's our low temperature for Saturday. We'll get briefly up into the low to mid 30s from the Wisconsin River Valley to Madison over towards Watertown. We'll get up to about 34, 35 to the north and to the west. The blue colors here, they come right back crashing in. By the time we wake up Sunday morning for brunch or for church, we'll be in the single digits again. So just like what we experienced this morning, we're going to repeat that again on Sunday with wind chills not quite as cold, but just a tad warmer, so to speak, here with -11 in in Lone Rock. Minus 13 feels like factor in Madison. We'll tie that in Camp Douglas to start off on Sunday. And then the temperatures are going to warm up even more beyond that. Here's that roller coaster ride all the way to 49 on Thursday. Everybody knows what Thursday is, right? Take a moment to guess. It's Christmas. High temperatures up near 50 degrees. Then we tumble a little bit, but these temperatures Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's normal for this time of year. Enjoy the chimney that I've got here? Well, let's take a peek here at what I got here. Not in the stockings here. Those are the First One Weather Team stockings. That's a secret for them. Up right around 50 degrees for a high temperature again in Madison on Christmas Day. The snow globe, we're not going to have a whole lot of snow out there, but it will be a warm day nonetheless. Teens right now across Dane County, widening out low to mid-teens across all of southern Wisconsin. But again, the temperatures are going to rise. The wind chills are in the single digits. Again, they're going to cool on down by Sunday, but just get ready. Once we get past Sunday, maybe close your eyes on this here. Look at the warm temperatures all the way going out through the 10-day forecast. I know the snow lovers are saying, hey, get me some snow back in the forecast. There is some indication, some hints once we get beyond the holiday and going out into the early part of January that the weather pattern may turn active again, bringing us back maybe some snow chances. And we've got January, February, and March to go yet with winter. Winter starts on Sunday, so plenty more time for snow and cold to return to southern Wisconsin.
Yes, in the meantime, enjoy the brief little thaw over Christmas.
Yeah, we just can't catch a white Christmas.
No, we really can't. It's been challenging. All right, Alex, thank you. Wide receiver and first-round draft pick Matthew Golden made headlines during the draft.
And now he has a chance to make some more with an injury on the team creating an opening and adding to the pressure. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde reports from Lambeau Field about tomorrow's game against the Bears.
A couple of weeks ago, I was talking with Packers rookie first-round pick Matthew Golden, the first wide receiver that the Packers had drafted in the first round in 23 years. And he was frustrated. He was frustrated with injuries to his shoulder and his wrist that have limited his opportunities. He was frustrated with his lack of production because he wanted to be an impact player immediately. Then came Sunday's game in Denver, and while the Packers lost to the Broncos, he was healthy and he was productive. Now he heads into Saturday night's matchup with the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field, knowing that he could have a greater role because Christian Watson is dealing with injuries of his own. And if Matthew Golden has any say in it, he will have a huge impact. And it won't surprise Packers offensive coordinator Adam Stenavich one bit.
It was really nice to have him out there. Obviously, his explosive plays were great. I'm excited to just keep him moving forward and getting him going. It was nice he made it out of the game, unscathed, and just keep on working. He's a talented player, and he's really going to help us as we progress.
We'll have full coverage of everything you need to get ready for Packers Bears and coverage of the game itself from Chicago on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes, big game coming up. Well, coming up on Live at 4, we talk with Alex about what goes into an alert day.
And then 30 days ago, our country saw one of the strongest bipartisan agreements of the last decade to release the Epstein files. Now that release deadline is here.
And Wisconsin being sued by the federal government after refusing to release unredacted voter rolls. We hear more from state officials and legal experts.
And then Wisconsin has officially hit a record for rainfall after severe flooding swept across the state this summer. The record total amount and how our state continues to recover. Taking a look at the numbers on Wall Street to end the work week, ending in the positive direction. The Dow closed up 183 points. The Nasdaq picked up 301 and the S&P 500 is up 59.
And the White House took new steps today to lower the costs of some prescription drugs. President Trump announced 9 more pharmaceutical companies have agreed to implement what is known as most favored nation pricing, meaning what the United States pays for some drugs will match the lowest prices paid by other high-income countries. The president credited his tariff policy for getting the drug makers to the table and said so far 14 of the 17 pharmaceutical companies that have been asked to change their pricing have agreed.
A major twist in the deadly shooting at Brown University.
Authorities say the man responsible also killed an MIT professor a few days later. The suspect is dead and his motives still not known. CBS's Paul Burton is following the story from Providence.
A 6-day manhunt ended in a New Hampshire storage facility Thursday night, where police say they found Claudio Manuel Neves Valente of Portugal dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Our Providence neighbors can finally breathe a little easier.
Authorities believe the 48-year-old killed 2 Brown University students and injured 9 others, and also killed MIT professor Nuno Loureiro 2 days later in Brookline, Massachusetts.
There is a video footage of him entering an apartment building in the location of the professor's apartment.
Investigators are now digging into the suspect's life as they look for a motive. He was a former Brown student in 2000 and 2001, and in the late 90s, he was in the same university in Portugal as the MIT professor. He was a legal U.S. resident with the last known address in South Florida.
Somewhat of a mystery to us.
Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Noronha tells CBS News he hopes to have more details in the coming days.
It's so awful. It's hard to even begin to understand what would drive anyone to do that.
Both communities are left wanting answers.
Yeah, no, I think there's a story behind it. I think there's got to be a story behind it, right?
After days of police pleading for the public's help, the case was cracked open when a witness who first posted on Reddit gave information about the suspect's car near Brown's campus, which turned out to be the same car tied to the MIT investigation. Paul Burton, CBS News, Providence, Rhode Island.
Now, you may recall the FBI offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the person responsible. In a statement, the Bureau said it does not comment on whether reward money has been paid and to whom.
The Justice Department releases hundreds of thousands of documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein today. Congress passed a law giving the Trump administration 30 days to publicly release the files, and today is that deadline. The release did not contain all of the files, as the Justice Department says it is reviewing documents to protect victims' identities.
President Trump has said for years that he wants full transparency and he wants the Department of Justice to release everything that we can.
Two leading Democratic lawmakers called any delay a violation of federal law and said they are exploring legal options to compel the department to release all the files. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says more documents will be released over the next couple of weeks.
Well, it's that time of the year where we all tend to overindulge a little bit, but don't let the holiday season derail your heart health.
Yep, those cookies, they're a weakness in today's Health Minute. Mandy Gaither talks to a registered dietitian about how to have a heart-healthy holiday.
From cocktails to cakes, cookies, and candy. If you tend to overdo it over the holidays, you're not alone.
We're burning less calories and taking more in, and that could put a toll on your heart health when that extends over a couple weeks.
Registered dietitian Sherry Gaw with El Camino Health says stay heart healthy this holiday season by prioritizing balanced meals during the day. She says not to eat less to save calories before an event or go to a party hungry.
That often backfires on us because then we were just starving at that point and we end up eating more. Plus there's, of course, foods around that are giving us, higher amounts of fat, sugar, sodium, and those types of things that we need to limit.
Instead, Goss says to eat a healthy snack before you go to a get-together, something that will give you protein, healthy fats, and fiber, like yogurt and some fruit and nuts.
That should leave you feeling a little bit more satisfied so that it takes the edge off, so that you're not starving by the time you get there and you just grab whatever's around.
Next, prioritize healthy food choices. At a party, scan the table before loading up a plate. Watch your intake of alcohol and sugary drinks. They're empty calories.
Drink a glass of water in between each, sugary beverage or alcoholic beverage so that it can help us to slow down, drink less, and also that water that we're drinking, that can also help to fill our stomach too.
I'm Mandy Gaither.
And Dr. Goss says it's also important to continue to exercise even when it's, 9 degrees like it is here.
Exactly. Get a dog. It'll be easy.
Yeah, that helps.
Because she says it can be as simple as going on a walk after a meal because every bit of movement counts. Well, coming up on Live at 4, the Boys and Girls Club starting a new mentorship program, how you can help out and how it can help your students.
And a guilty verdict has come down for a Milwaukee judge accused of obstructing federal agents. We'll tell you what lies ahead for Judge Hannah Dugan.
Then a new report shows teachers in Wisconsin are facing major disparities when it comes to paying for health insurance. Michelle Renee Quinn breaks down why where you live makes a difference.
And Alex is back with the first warn forecast and whether or not we can expect a white Christmas in just a couple of days. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Welcome back to Live at 4, everybody, on this Friday. Armand Rahman is filling in today. Brady is getting a little early start to the weekend.
Yes.
How'd you navigate the ice last night? It was a little slippery.
Very, very carefully. Yeah, treacherously walking my dog and kind of just, yeah.
Yep.
It was very funny to watch, I'm sure.
And today we're very cold, back in the single digits. Let's take a look outside today. Well, that's a good shot. Where is that?
That's a great question. It looks like...
Cody, do you know where that is? Is that the belt? That's not the belt line, is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like the bay, though.
Well, the weather words for today, roller coaster temperature ride. It's going from very cold to very mild on Christmas Day, and Alex is here with the forecast. Alex?
Yeah, and as you look out at that picture, I call that the deceptive scene. The sun is out, looks pretty good, but the temperatures right now are only in the teens out there. And that roller coaster ride, here we go. Back down to 23 after a quick high of 35 on Saturday. And up we go. 49 on Christmas and then down a little bit as we head towards the following weekend. Those are normal temperatures for this time of year, by the way. So get ready for constant changes in temperatures right now. 17 in Madison, 17 in Middleton, a lot of 18s out there in Dane County, widening things out across the rest of southern Wisconsin, hanging on to 12 in Juneau, 18 in Janesville, 16 in Platteville. These temperatures that we're experiencing right now, they're going to be close to our low temperature for tonight because we've got rising temperatures on the way. But it doesn't matter when you're in the teens and you get put a little wind out there. It still feels like 5 in Mineral Point, 5 up to the north in Marquette and Green Lake counties, and 6 right now in Janesville. We got more weather to track. Yes, it's going to be a roller coaster ride with temperatures, but how about that mix? A little bit of precipitation in the form of some ice pellets, some snow, a little bit of rain is expected on Saturday. We're going to time that for you so you know when that may impact your travel plans Saturday morning. That's coming up in a little bit. And then I'm also going to talk about yesterday's alert day because we've had lots of questions. Where do those snow skulls go? And about that flash freeze, I'll explain.
All right, very good. Oh, by the way, that was over our tower overlooking the Beltline.
There we go.
Yeah, now we know. Okay, a new record, speaking of weather, Alex, you'll be interested in this, has been set for precipitation in Wisconsin in a 24-hour period. This followed that period of devastating flash flooding northwest of Milwaukee that we had over the summer on August 9th and 10th of this year. The National Weather Service says 14.5 inches of rain were observed at James Madison High School northwest of Milwaukee. That broke the previous record of 11 inches in 1946 in Ashland County. $30 million has been secured for those directly affected by the flooding. However, the state is appealing partially denied federal funding requests.
In Mineral Point, a man is dead after a car fire last night. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office says just before 9 o'clock, a call came in of a car fire. 58-year-old Timothy Walrack lost control of his car while turning into a driveway. It went into a ditch and caught fire. Walrack was not able to get out. He died at the scene. The Mineral Point Police Department is leading the investigation into the fire. No other information is available right now.
Now, on Thursday, Wisconsin joined the growing list of states being sued by the U.S. Department of Justice.
Those states are refusing to produce full voter registration lists upon request by the DOJ. Our Marion Rosen is here and has more. Jamarin?
Well, Susan and Armand, there are 21 states plus Washington, D.C. who are currently being sued by the Department of Justice for refusing to give the federal government full, unredacted lists of registered voters in those states. This list would include personal information like full names, driver license numbers, and partial social security numbers. The DOJ is saying certain federal laws allow the Attorney General to demand for statewide voter registration lists to make sure that they are accurate. But Wisconsin law prohibits the State Elections Commission from providing a full unredacted voter registration list. And last week, the commission voted 5-1 to deny the request. While they are willing to provide non-confidential data records to the DOJ, election experts say the federal databases have inaccuracies, causing citizens to be flagged as non-citizens, giving voters only 30 days to prove their citizenships. But there are still concerns over privacy.
I think one of the big issues is the privacy of this information. Again, Wisconsin, like every other state, has state laws that it tries to protect this information from public disclosure. And one of the concerns about sharing this, anytime you share it, including with the federal government, is a risk that this data would be exposed or used improperly.
Hence, states who are in full compliance or in the process of compliance with the DOJ. This lawsuit is not expected to be resolved by the 2026 midterm elections. I'll be back at 6 tonight with more.
All right, thank you, Maren. We'll see you at 6. The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County has launched a new mentorship program aimed at helping local middle school students to build strong study habits, improve academic performance, and get them ready for a successful transition to high school. Supporters John and Joellen McKenzie made a $200,000 donation to help fund a new dedicated program coordinator. They will oversee mentorship structure and work with community partners, schools, and families. The not-for-profit organization says it will start recruiting volunteers across the county to work in small groups and one-on-one with the youth.
A new state report shows Wisconsin teachers pay vastly different amounts for health insurance depending on where they work.
Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, is breaking down the disparities. Michelle Renee?
In La Crosse, educators pay about 27% of their gross income for health coverage, and teachers in Holmen pay around 17% and 13% in Onalaska. The average full-time teacher in Wisconsin makes $61,000 a year, but nearly 20% of that salary pays for health care benefits. The Wisconsin Education Association Council says the varying costs add financial stress to educators already dealing with rising housing and grocery expenses. Wisconsin's Education Association Council president says it's a factor of low teacher retention, stating, quote, "I hear from educators every week who are struggling to balance their own household budget and trying to make the best decision they can for themselves, their families, and the students that they're working with. And sometimes that best decision for them is walking away from the profession they love." Lawmakers are now exploring long-term solutions, including a possible statewide health insurance plan for educators. Now, this system would pool all teachers together, potentially reducing costs for both educators and school districts.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. And you can follow Michelle Renee's consumer reports during the week on the morning show or on weekend mornings every Saturday and Sunday.
Next on Live at 4, if you're looking for what to stream this weekend, look no further.
Our Will Loper is talking about the thriller Roofman, the video game TV show Fallout, and Emily in Paris, a new season, streams this weekend. That's all coming up in the Loper Report.
And it may not smell like it, but a new planet discovery looks like a giant lemon. We look at how this weirdly shaped planet holds treasure within.
But first, Alex is back with a check of the weekend forecast, and we'll talk about what goes into calling a weather day an alert day.
Well, we're taking a look right now at Siftwater, Pennsylvania. The weather there, 33 degrees, mostly cloudy and windy. And this is a look at the Camelback Tubing Hill at the Camelback Resort. Resort is home to one of the largest tubing parks in the nation with 40 lanes. It also has 35 ski trails where you can And when you're sick of the cold, you can head inside to a 125,000 square foot water park.
Very cool. That might be a fun place to check out. It won't be water park weather here, at least not today, Alex.
Yeah, not today.
Inside, maybe.
Inside, yes. The sun was out today. Deceptively sunny, meaning it's cold outside. But you may be wondering, well, are we going to add any more snow to that snow that's continuing to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle? Not today with the cold temperatures, but let's fast forward here and go through Christmas week. On Monday, we may have a little bit of mixed precipitation for the Madison area up towards Minneapolis. Temperatures right around freezing as we fast forward into Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at the temperatures rising into the upper 30s, if not near 50. St. Louis right around 60 degrees as we head just to the day before Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve itself across southern Wisconsin, we've got temperatures well into the 30s. And then as we go into Christmas Day itself, we're expecting highs to get well into the 40s to near 50 degrees. So any snow that's left out there, unfortunately, that snowman here is going to be dwindling on down here. But we also have some precipitation as part of the 3 things you need to know for Saturday. Back down again with our roller coaster ride Sunday, and Christmas, as I just mentioned, very, very mild across southern Wisconsin. Here's that mix. It could have a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice pellets. The freezing drizzle chance is there tomorrow morning. We could have a slick spot or 2, but we're not expecting adverse weather conditions widespread. That cold front comes through quickly as we head towards late Saturday morning. And then in the afternoon, we got strong northwest winds that are going to usher in yet another Arctic blast of air. We're trying to move out of that Arctic blast right now. Overnight lows right around 20, getting up to about 36 in Madison and areas south of the Wisconsin River Valley. But look off to the northwest. Here comes the blues again. Those would be the cold temperatures back down to the single digits for lows Sunday morning. And the wind chills, that's the feels like factor, will be in the teens below 0. Not quite dangerously cold, but that's cold enough, in my opinion. Then the roller coaster ride gets us back up to 50 on Christmas, and then we work our way back down to temperatures near normal for this time of year. So as we look at the entire forecast here, oh, and if you're heading off to Chicago, temperatures will be well into the 30s in Chicago before the rug gets pulled out underneath us again on Sunday. But back up to near 50 degrees as we head out towards Thursday. That would be Christmas Day. Unfortunately, the chances of a white Christmas, not very high here in southern Wisconsin, even though we started the month with a lot of snow. But we've got January, we got February, we got a March to go. So if you want some snow, I'm sure we will still have some snow.
There is a lot of winter left to come. You know, we've had about half a dozen alert days since Thanksgiving. What goes into making that decision? Yeah, the very first thing is, do we have an impact to society? Do we have impact to people? Is safety going to be compromised? For example, driving. Like last night. Like last night. Yesterday is a great case example. The First Warn Weather Team, the day prior, we had information we were going to have snow squalls, which are dangerous, brief periods of heavy snow that could cause impacts on the roadway, right? That's impacts that could cause car accidents. And then we need to also think about loss to property. Now, in this case, in the winter, we usually see loss to property like we would see during severe weather season. But let's take a look at some graphics. What happened with yesterday's alert day? Sometimes they're a slam dunk. This one was not really a slam dunk in southern Wisconsin, but that happens. You always prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and we got a little bit more on the best side yesterday. We didn't have that energy for snow squalls yesterday that stayed to the west in Minnesota and Iowa, and they had blizzard conditions. We didn't get that here, luckily. The strong winds that we had during the day that dried out a lot of those roads, that we had the rain and we had melting, and that's good because then when we had that flash freeze, then we didn't have widespread icy conditions on main roadways especially. But what we certainly got, and we're feeling it today, is the cold.
I was out there reporting. I'm fine if there's no snow. That's okay.
He drew the short straw yesterday.
But in the end, when it's an alert day, if it doesn't come true, that's always a good thing, right?
Yeah,
because
that's true.
people stay safe, even though we want to warn folks about dangerous conditions. Our main focus is on your safety, and yesterday things panned out for the best.
We appreciate your hard work. Thank you, Alex. Very interesting.
Yep. And after a long wait, the Fallout TV show is starting its second season, and we have other shows streaming this weekend ahead in the Loper Report.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, if you need to take a break this weekend from the shopping or wrapping, how about finding something great to watch on TV at home?
That's right. Film critic Will Loper has 3 picks of movies and shows new on streaming this weekend.
It's been 6 months and still no leads on the whereabouts of the escaped convict known as the Roof Man.
Find a hideout with the 2025 film Roof Man, newly streaming on Paramount+.
A manhunt tonight for an escaped prisoner.
Find a safe place to hide for a few months.
He's a very smart individual, super intelligent.
Based on real-life events, the movie stars Channing Tatum as a robber who hides out in a Toys R Us.
What exactly is it you plan on doing once we find your daddy?
Gonna bring him to justice. So people know that how they conduct themselves matters. And they don't give up hope.
Head back to the wasteland with Fallout Season 2, newly streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
The stuff we fight for, story has it you used to believe in those things too.
Ella Purnell returns as Lucy, joined by the Ghoul, played by Walton Goggins, as they head to New Vegas to find Lucy's father.
It's my first day running the Rome office.
How will you get there?
I'm Roman now. I take the bus.
And head to Italy with Emily in Paris Season 5, newly streaming on Netflix.
If we're going to open an office in Rome, let's really show the Italians how it's done.
Lily Collins is back as Emily, starting a new job in Italy.
I don't think my ideas are translating, but Rome wasn't built in a day.
And yet, it only took you 1 day to destroy it.
For Live at 4, I'm Will Logan.
So she's not in Paris, she's in Rome. Anyways, well, you know, when they say life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I don't think we're going to be squeezing this lemon this size anytime soon. Check out this planet. Scientists with NASA discovered outside our solar system that's shaped oblong, kind of like a lemon, due to the gravitational pull of its star that's just 1 million miles away. According to scientists, the planet is as massive as Jupiter and has a helium and carbon-dominated atmosphere unlike any other that turns carbon clouds into diamonds deep within the planet.
That's very
That's
cool.
a rich
We
place
just have
to
to
live.
change the color.
Yes, exactly. Change the color. Change, like you said, look more like a strawberry. I think
yeah,
you're right.
It does. So the weekend is almost here. Are we going to get out of this deep freeze?
We will for a day, and then we're going to go back into that deep freeze for a day, and then we warm right back up, 50 degrees by Christmas. So if you're ready for a warm Christmas, I got it in your forecast.
All right, Alex, thank you. We'll be right back.
Coming up at 5, the Salvation Army warning you against some Grinches, fake bell ringers, what you need to know before you donate. And we have an update to a homicide case in Madison. We're learning the next steps leading up to the trial of James Barnes Morris. And thanks so much for joining us on Live at 4. We'll see you right back here on Monday. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5. That starts right now.